Hello Internet, I'm Jaden and today I want to talk to you about a game that has taken me 10 years to make. So, let's rewind. No, not that far. There we go. 10 years ago, my early high school days. I was in the library. Okay, so I wasn't one of the cool kids outside kicking a football. I was one of those nerdy kids, always on the school computers at any chance I could get. I've always loved technology. And it just so happened that we could use the computers in the library during lunch. Being quiet, of course. These were the days of circumventing internet allowances, playing cool math games, but the annoying thing was the school kept blocking any websites they saw us playing games on. No matter how sneaky we were, they were lurking in the shadows, taking notes of anything that even remotely looked fun. And, of course, blocking it. Desperate times called for desperate measures. And one of my friends showed me some software called Game Maker. Using drag and drop blocks, you could program a game in a lunchtime. Times that by a few lunchtimes, and you could get bigger and better games. Now the school couldn't block our games because they weren't on a website, and they could be run off a USB. We had finally found our calling. Our little game making group grew to 4 or so, making games during lunchtimes, testing out each other's games, and learning a whole lot in the process. It's funny, because we never were actually taught how to do it. We just sort of jumped into the proverbial swimming pool together and learned off each other as we went. Word soon spread of our open access games, and USB sticks made the rounds around school with all of our games on it. Random kids would come up to us asking for more levels, more blood effects, and new types of games. It was like an underground games market. We were like the mysterious figures with shady coats, stocked to the brim with USB sticks with all sorts of gory and funny games. As the years went on, our passion for making games slowly dwindled, and the USB sticks became ancient relics, passed down from year level to year level with no known origin. It wasn't until later in high school where I picked up my lost love again, creating a game for my final art design project. My art teacher at the time had a son, and who was having big success with a cartoon he produced, and was now being turned into a video game. He loved the idea that people could make games as art, and this was the first time a game was submitted as an art final project. The game wasn't finished, but I had grand plans to finish this game. Spoiler alert, this is the game that took 10 years to finish. A year after my graduation, I came back and volunteered my time teaching robotics and games programming to the lower level high school kids. It was something I always wished was available to me, so I thought, what the heck, why not make it available to them? I did this for a year or two before moving on into the rat race of finding a job and a career. Again, games got put on the back burner as I took up more of an interest in robotics and gained employment in retail. Programming stayed with me though. Over the years, taking up forms in robotics, software, and website design. This year, I was really struggling with the idea of purpose. What am I doing here? What are my talents? You know, that old chestnut. Whilst going through an existential crisis, my mind wandered back to games programming. It was something I'd always loved to do, but I hadn't done it for years. Why did I stop? I decided that my New Year's resolution was going to be, drumroll, finish the game. Whilst I had made lots of games back in school, I had never once considered one finished. There were never menus, there were always bugs, and there was never a story. It was just a concept, with maybe a score system at best. I was going to make a game this year, and this game would be different. I was thinking about the idea of the game I had 10 years ago. A zombie game, a platformer zombie game, with guns. My mind raced with thoughts. What if it had puzzles? What if there were cameras and security systems? What if there were fire spread mechanics? Yeah, I don't know why I thought of the last one either. This is where I had my first big failure and setback. Scope creep. I had experienced this in projects for work, but I was unaware of its effect in game making. I had tried to add more and more features without having a core of my game, a core gameplay loop. What even was my game? Why did I need fire mechanics? Everything but the graphics went into the bin. And I sat down and watched probably every single indie game making video I could find. I was a sponge, absorbing up all of this information of this game making world I didn't even know existed. I learned that there were heaps of people out there like me, A whole community who loved making games and would publish them on sites like itch.io. I had to join this community. I had to learn from them, and I had to make a game and publish it on itch.io. It was a massive aha moment. This was the feeling I had back in school 10 years ago, making games and putting them in the hands of people, seeing the joy it brought them. This is how Upkill was born. I sat down, decided on a core gameplay loop: zombie, wave-based, platform, shooter. The objective would be to get a high score. Keep it simple, make it fun. Within the first couple of weeks, I had rectangles and squares moving all around the screen. They were all placeholder graphics, as I wanted to concentrate on the gameplay first. Something I'd learned from all of these videos is that if the game is fun with no graphics, then you are on a winner. I made the game as much fun as I could with zero graphics. I knew I was onto something when I could close the game just to recompile it again and go for another round without changing a thing. Now was the time to add the flair, the graphics, and of course, the polish. Now, I'm no artist, so I stuck to my comfort zone and worked with 16-bit pixel art. I wanted to keep it simple, to design characters that were simple to animate, but have enough space to easily convey what the sprites were. The graphics were added, there was some polish, there was a scoring system, and now there was even a menu. I created an account on itch.io and hit publish. I had done it. I had a standalone game. It took 10 years, but I had finally completed the game I envisioned back in art class. If you want to check out my game Upkill, check out the link in the description below and let me know what your high score was. Congratulations if you're still listening. That was quite the ramble. If there was anything I've learned while reading this script, it is that I found my thing a long time ago. A mix of programming, design, and art in the form of game making. Through the years, it often took a back seat, but I always came back to it in the end and enjoyed every minute. Since getting back into games design, I've noticed a fire ignite in me again. I found my hobby, something I enjoy, something that brings me a smile and brings smiles to other people. It genuinely makes me happy. If you are trying to find your hobby, your fire, your passion, or maybe you're thinking of getting into game making, I hope this inspired you to get in touch with your hobbies, past or future, and just have fun. Let me know if you can relate to my story at all. Hey, just let me know what your hobby is that gives you that creative fire. That's all for now. Thanks for watching.